Hello viewers and welcome to the first of our official F1 2015 gameplay. The game is out next week. It's the weekend of the British Grand Prix and I thought why not kick off racing round Silverstone, and I've taken these runs in order, so I'm gradually learning the handling, getting back into it again as I work my way around. You're seeing here direct feed gameplay running on PS4 version, and we'll try and get some content across all formats in the coming days. Frame rate, I know lots of people are going to be asking me about that. It runs at 60 frames per second in core gameplay and 30 frames per second as you can see here in the replay. As for the game and stability of frame rate, well, generally for the most part it's running at 60 frames, though at some points it may drop below that, but it still stays pretty high, has to be said. Though obviously we'll know more when you've done many races in the wet and everything else on different circuits, but some circuits do seem to run better than others. It doesn't seem to be a clear reason as to why some might not run as well, but I will say this, for the most part 95% of the time it's been running at 60 frames per second for me. And as you can see here, going around the A1 ring in the what are we in, McLaren of Button here, last place. What can you say, takes a bit of getting used to. And also, I haven't played it since F1 2014 came out. I haven't really played much F1, and it took a bit of getting used to the gear changes again, having been used to sort of six gears. Coming back to this in the eighth gear, you're changing constantly all the time now. Bit of Singapore we've got on the way. This is going to be coming in a separate video. We've got some expert driving here by the handling designer, and he's put the game through its paces for us and showed us an expert run around Singapore in the rain. Really good driving, runs really well, looks great, really nice to see how that's come along. And of course we've got a multicam on that as well, so you'll see that the gameplay view will be running at 60, whereas the replay views around it will be running at 30, but you will see accurate TV cameras now, which is really nice to see. That's not to say there isn't the odd different camera here and there, but on the whole, really nicely done. Fantastic job from Codemasters on improving that. This preview is focusing more just on the visuals rather than the gameplay. Abu Dhabi video, this is coming as well, and that's going to again be a separate video, core gameplay, and then a multicam video is going to be coming to support that, which we'll show you in just a moment as I work my way around behind Valtteri Bottas again there, getting between myself and Nico Rosberg in that battle. So I was gradually getting used to the handling. Handles very different with different types of wheels. The wheel I was using wasn't the Thrustmaster wheel, I was using a different wheel, but I wasn't enjoying the feedback from that wheel as much. Not the game's fault, more down to the wheel I was using, and it was making it tricky for me to put the car exactly where I wanted it to. I am looking forward to testing it on my home rig, and then I should be able to put together some more representative lap times. So all the 4 of those videos will be coming up on the channel in the next couple of days, and the links will appear here in this video as well, annotations on that section. Here we see a bit of the Manor team. Obviously Manor's coming as day one, sort of additional content, downloadable content, and we can see here racing around. Who are we racing as? Will Stevens around Suzuka, working our way around. Difficulty setting you're seeing in these videos will vary between hard, expert and legend. Generally I've sort of mixed it around a bit as I was learning handling different cars, but all videos will show the elite settings, handling settings, so all assists off in every video. Handling is very challenging this time. It felt slightly easier on the build I played back in March. Certainly it's more challenging now. Every time you get on the power you've got really a little bit of opposite lock to keep the car going in the right direction. I can tell you that being quick is very challenging on this game. It's really going to require a lot of skill, and we talk about simulation elements, it's all there. I'd say the only thing that's not there, and I've discussed this before in F1, is the tactile feedback down the straights, sort of you get from laser scanning, that sort of bumpy feeling of the tarmac texture. But besides that, the straights are obviously the tarmac's relatively smooth all the way around, you don't get that bumpy feedback. But having said that, overall handling has been improved a lot. Improvements to tyre modelling, suspension modelling. It's never going to be a full simulator, because this has to appeal to a wide range of people that don't play racing games day in, day out, but still want to feel like they can play and enjoy it. But at the same time, it's nice to see that Codemasters are really trying to expand the envelope in terms of the simulation side as well. And they've really gone for the core basics, making sure the whole game works. I haven't tried the speak to the engineer stuff. I don't know if I'll get a chance to try that before launch. It's unlikely, but I'll be focusing myself on the sort of core gameplay and the races as we see a little bit of a race as I'm learning my way around Mexico, not knowing where I'm going there. Racing into Monza, I enjoy. I took a little knock there on the AIs, but managed to get across turn 1 and have quite a fun race on Monza. And again, just nice to see it running so smoothly. Again, be interesting to see with the final game once we're putting in long runs and how the tyres work and everything else. Certainly there were people on the preview day I was playing this that were having all manner of technical issues and stuff in terms of, I was talking about in terms of car failures and damaging wheels, not the game itself. But they were, generally speaking, I was making it around a lot of the races. I didn't have damage on. I don't have damage on. I mean, I'm on elite settings, maybe damage is on, but again, I wasn't having any significant hits with these cars, bumping wheels here and there. But as the wing touches the car in front, but hey, we got away with it. It happens. It's not always like a Lewis at Spa last year. And of course, then finally, I had a race around Brazil circuit I know really well. I've done lots and lots and lots of laps here. Always enjoying it. Again, this was on the Expert AI. So, if you're running on the Expert AI, you're going to need to be on the racing line, and just getting round and putting in a decent lap time. If you're going to be on the Legend AI, obviously I'd need to test every car, every course and so on, but I can tell you that it certainly seems like the challenge is really there. But we'll have to wait and see. When the game's released, I'll take a little bit of a knock there, get away with it, and get into these slower corners, sliding the car in. And of course the car had no traction on the way in, so it took a moment to get that traction back. The wheels spin up, really tricky getting on the power once the car slides around. It's a lot more sort of dynamic, a lot more work in driving these cars. And I'm assured there's parity between the pad and wheel users this time. Obviously I'm using a wheel in all these videos, but it's gonna work better online in terms of leagues and all that sort of stuff as well. So fair bit of fun playing this. Visually the game looks nice. The palette is could be a bit sharper in terms of colour and lighting, could be a bit more vibrant, but they've gone for this sort of more pastel-y look to it, which I think takes a little bit of the shine and polish off it. But either way, it's a nice solid looking game. And of course you have the full podium sequence now with the music as well. Nico Rosberg looking a bit strange there. I think it's because the characters are modelled with their mouths closed and then they just sort of animate the mouth looking at them. But there you go, podium sequence as well. And that's it for this very brief preview. Check out some of the other videos on the channel, more coming there, and there'll be more F1 action from me in the coming days, and more soon.